This week on manor&maker, we get started on the press house. So, we have finally got some nice weather, so I'm going to go and check out what's happening in the cider house. This is a building that's just beyond our barn, and we have some thoughts and some plans going for it. So let's check it out. As we get past the barn, you start to see what we have decided to name the cider house, because there was a cidery here. They would have done probably wine and apples at one point. It's also a bit of a workhouse. There was clearly an area in what we deem the kitchen where people would be washing clothes or dyeing clothes. And the top floor would have definitely been a place for people to store food, because the floor up there is actually terracotta tile. But you may notice, the eagle eye amongst you, that there is some scaffolding up right now. First thing we need to do is to shore up the roof. The roof, unfortunately, is in bad shape. The back end of the roof is actually all just sheet metal at the moment. So clearly that was put on to replace the tiles that were there. But the front is also starting to crumble. So we have gotten our roofers back, and they are going to shore the roof up to make sure that there's no more degradation. And then hopefully we will be able to get on to a bigger project. With guys on site now working on the roof of the cider house, it's great to have this security camera here to be able to keep an eye on what's going on and to be alerted if there's anything that is of concern. This makes it super easy for us to monitor the progress without having to leave the chateau. Also, if the guys need a coffee, I can just use the two-way communication and ask them. Thank you, Reolink, for sponsoring this video. When the roofers arrived to set up the scaffolding for the cidery, Sarah and I weren't even at home. I was in fact sat in a parking lot waiting for Sarah to come out from an appointment. But I got an alert on my phone from the Reolink Go PT Ultra. I was able to quickly open up the app, take a look at the camera, spin it around, and see exactly who was there. It gives me a complete sense of security knowing that I can have a bird's eye view on what's going on the chateau property. This particular camera doesn't even need to be connected to our Wi-Fi. It's got its own SIM card, and that means that it can be positioned far further away from the chateau than a regular system. This means that we can keep an eye on something even as far away as the cidery is from the chateau. If I did have any concerns about what I was seeing, there's a two-way communication on the camera, so I could have easily just turned on the microphone and had a chat with the guys. Fortunately, everything seemed to be normal, and we just let them get on with their work. It's a beautiful, beautiful building, as you can see. It's got a lovely roof on it. Some of the details in the structure are really, really sweet. We're guessing that it probably dates to the mid 19th century, somewhere around the 1850s. Not 100% sure. Unfortunately, we really don't have that kind of information. But what we had initially thought of for this building was to turn it into somewhere for people to go and stay, fully self-contained. So what they call in France a gîte, or a rental property essentially. So hopefully we'll be able to turn this into a 2, maybe 3 bedroom house that will have a full kitchen, living room, dining room, the whole 9 yards. And it's far enough away from the chateau that it has its own sort of private feel to it. You can drive here. You can drive all the way up here. Might have to put a bit of gravel down because it does get very wet here in the springtime. But it's far enough away for somebody to feel like it's their own place, but still close enough that it doesn't feel that isolated. So let me take you on a brief tour of the building so that you guys get an understanding of what's inside and, honestly, the scope of work that's going to be required to make this into a livable house. Behind me here in the cider house, we have where the presses would have been. In fact, when we toured this place before we bought it, there were still like manual presses that were in here. We were a little sad to see that they were gone when we moved in, but understandably the previous owners either sold them or took them with them. But right now what we're using it for is wood storage. You can see this is my wood chopping area. So you can see as we enter here that this was obviously a workspace. They had areas here for barrels to be positioned. That's what these things are here. Right now it is where our wood store is. So when I'm chopping wood, this is where it all ends up, so it stays nice and dry. And there's, rendered stone walls all around us here. The structure up the top, it's not horrible. I mean, there is definitely some problems, like you can see here. Obviously, water has gotten through, and we're going to need to deal with that. But you can also see that the tiles from the floor upstairs are actually terracotta. And presumably that would be so that they can put, grains and other produce on there, and it wouldn't rot the floor below it. You can see sort of a modern staircase that was put in here. And so this eventually, we're hoping, will turn into quite a nice living room, potentially. We'd have to break through this wall here to get from the other side of the house. So let's show you that. As we come in the main entrance here, it's a rather inexpensive job on the doors here, but there we go. It does the job for now. We're greeted directly by the staircase up to the second floor. This would be the wash station that we were talking about. Obviously something that hasn't been used in quite some time. But nice big beautiful windows in here. Again, rendered stone walls. And this brick wall here, which we don't think is that old, which is basically containing the staircase that leads up. I'm guessing in earlier years, there would have simply been a ladder up to the second floor. And then when we cross over from the stairs, there's another room that's just used for storage right now. But again, you can see there is definitely some issues with the water leakage that's been happening. Oh, and I believe that's a little bat friend for us too. Yeah, you can even see on the floor here, there is still a little bit of water from all of the rain that we've had. It's not flooding as such, it's just, obviously the rain is starting to get through on the second floor and dropping down. And yeah, you're starting to see the real dangerous problems that we need to start dealing with. Heading upstairs. It's a little scary on the stairs here, I must admit. And I'm not going to walk around too far up here because, again, you can see where the water is coming in. The roof up there is, well, you shouldn't be seeing sunlight through it, let's face it. So that is currently being looked after. Hopefully the guys will be back this week to patch that up. They've already worked on the far side of the barn here. You can see it's obviously much better sealed in. So yeah, there is a work in progress here to shore up the roof, which is great. Fortunately, the structure underneath looks in pretty decent shape, at least the main joists. We're probably gonna have to replace a few of the smaller bits of wood, but I don't think there's a major problem with the structural elements. But of course, the longer we let it go, the more those become a problem too. But you can see there's a lot of space up here. This is quite a large room. Can easily be split into 2 or 3, I'm guessing 2 generous bedrooms and 1 bathroom maybe. But who knows? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Fortunately, we are working on the roof. We are making sure that it is stable. I mean, we're not going to be able to replace everything right now, particularly because the builder or the roofer can't quite get to it at this point. But at least it'll be stable, and we will make sure that there's no more further rot to the building. So next task for me is to get rid of all the bramble and vegetation that's around the walls here. That means it's me against the bramble again. And boy, that bramble is just everywhere on this property. Fortunately, I've got the right tool and I've got the right equipment. PPE, very important. And yeah, hopefully I can tackle this, get rid of most of the stuff that's over here so that we can see what needs to be done on the exterior of the building. All right, I have got all my safety gear on. I've got my trusty weed whacker or brush cutter, or in French, de brousiers. And let's see what I can do about getting rid of some of this bramble. There you have it. I now have a corridor up along the side of the building here. Ooh, there's a lot of not only sort of standard bramble, but there was a lot of blackthorn in there, which is the plant that produces slow berries. And the spikes on it, man, they can be, I've seen them almost 6 inches long. They're huge and they're just deadly. But I think this is going to improve the quality of the building by just getting that vegetation off there. Lots more to go, but I think that's pretty good progress for today. You can see all of the detritus that came off the side of this building. Gonna have to obviously have a fire and get rid of all this stuff, this bramble. Yeah, it needs to be cut down a bit before we do that. So here's something very interesting. And if you have been with us since the start, you probably would have already seen this because we discovered it very early on. But at the edge of the building here, you go around the corner and there's two interesting things. There's this structure, which by all accounts we think is a cistern, because all of the water that's draining off of the eave troughs and things here is going into that building. And it's just a big old stone building. I want to uncover this so that we can see what it is. That's sort of the long-term plan of getting rid of all this brush. But the other thing is we found a door. And we were always a bit puzzled on the inside. There seemed to be a bit missing. In other words, there was a section inside the building that seemed to not have a corresponding outside. And we discovered that there's this door here. And the door, little secret door, actually leads to an old chicken coop. Whew. Kind of smells like old chicken. Yeah, obviously not going to venture in there. But yeah, so that's why there was this little extra room at the back of the building that we couldn't see from the inside. All right, we will get into that later. But so much more to get rid of. All of this vegetation. Look at the vines that are on the back here. Yeah, a lot of work to do. Well, I have taken some of the major pieces of ivy, cut them off, so hopefully the rest of it will start to wither and become easier to pull off. But boy, it's really wedged in there, even right along the eaves here. or the downspout. Yeah, it's a mess, but we've got to get rid of it all, so got to start on it anyway. I was on my way back to the barn and back to the chateau after doing all the cutting on the cider house, and I've discovered that we have lost a tree. So this tree behind me is a pretty big one, and I know it had some mistletoe in it and had been suffering from a lot of vines sort of choking it out, and I guess the rain and the wind and the storms that we had, it finally gave out. So now I got to get my chainsaw out and start cutting off this all the branches off. Maybe a project for another day though.